Hello and welcome back to LFC Transfer Hub, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Liverpool ready to abandon Bradley Barcola talks as Arsenal get clear run. Liverpool are prepared to walk away from talks over the transfer of Bradley Barcola as they struggle to reach an agreement with Paris Saint-Germain, leaving Arsenal on alert. The Reds are yet to replace Mohamed Salah, who joined Trabzonspor as a free agent last week, and have earmarked the France winger as a top target. Talks have been ongoing between the clubs for some time, but an agreement is not thought to be close. According to The Athletic, PSG have set their asking price at around £145 million. Liverpool are not willing to match that fee, and conversely, PSG will not waver, despite Barcola himself being keen on the move as he looks to boost his minutes. With talks approaching a stalemate and deadline day now just 3 weeks away, the Reds are reportedly prepared to walk away from talks and turn their attention to other targets in a bid to bolster Andoni Iraola's threadbare squad. Among their alternative targets is 18-year-old Ibrahim Mbaye, Barcola's PSG teammate. Liverpool's preparedness to look elsewhere, though, could alert Arsenal. The Gunners remain in the market for a blockbuster signing after missing out on a move for Vinicius Jr., who snubbed their interest to sign a new long-term Real Madrid contract. They are said to hold an interest in the Frenchman, despite already adding Christos Solis on the left flank, and will be patiently monitoring the situation to see whether Liverpool back out of negotiations, clearing the way for the Gunners to bid. Mikel Arteta has already promised further signings this summer, confirming, "Well, that's what we're trying to do. If we have the right player in the market to make us much better, we are very looking forward to that." The Gunners also spent £75 to bring in Bruno Guimaraes last week, but Arteta is now thought to be targeting forwards. Next news, it's official, Liverpool have just signed their next Jordan Henderson. Liverpool have signed their next Jordan Henderson, it's now official. The former captain of the club was never really appreciated as much as he should have been during his time at Anfield. Sure, Henderson wasn't an icon. He wasn't a player who could even remotely live up to the performances Steven Gerrard delivered in the same role. But there's no denying he was a great role model and someone who set the standard. He was also a player desperate to make it at Anfield. At one point in his career, he had been written off. Liverpool were ready to discard him and offload him after he hadn't really fulfilled his promise. But he refused to go and he stayed and worked hard enough to get himself back in contention. By the end of Brendan Rodgers' era, he was one of Liverpool's better players, and under Jurgen Klopp, he became an extremely crucial cog in Liverpool's machine. Without Henderson, there probably is no success at Anfield. Henderson's energy in midfield allowed the more technical players in the team to flourish. He was the one who pressed and who made Klopp's gegenpressing system work effortlessly. Of course, he did more than that. Xabi Alonso has recognised this at Chelsea right in this very moment, as did Thomas Tuchel for England. Henderson is a great figure to have in the dressing room. He is a vocal character who creates harmony. Like we said, he sets the standards in training and he leads by example. Having players like him who are also very vocal and loud on the pitch is an underrated part of the game. Football is a team sport at the end of the day. Communication is vital on the pitch. Henderson was constantly talking and he was known as the loudest voice at Anfield during his time at Liverpool. Liverpool have since lacked that authority figure in midfield. Dominik Szoboszlai could soon be that, but he is still growing in stature and he doesn't have the authority that Henderson once had. Virgil van Dijk is probably the most vocal player on the pitch, but even he doesn't compare to Henderson. The good news is that Liverpool have just added a player who has the same trait as the now Chelsea midfielder and who could add more leadership to Andoni Iraola's group for the next season. Much has been made about the signing of Ronald Araujo, but while there are some concerns about his fitness and his recent form, people are overlooking the positive aspects of this deal. Liverpool have lost a lot of leaders this summer. Mo Salah and Andy Robertson have departed for pastures new. They need more authority figures, and in Araujo they could find the perfect fit. After all, this is a player who has played over 200 games for Barcelona. He was their current club captain, and he has that same trait that Henderson does. Araujo sets the standards in training. He works tirelessly and is very good at providing energy. On the pitch, like Henderson, he is known as a strong communicator. "I like to talk on the pitch. I'm talking the whole game. It's a way of being more focused, and that I think helps me and also the team," he said. This is the kind of player Liverpool need right now. Araujo's move has now become official, and in the process, Liverpool will have secured their next Henderson. The transfer is one to celebrate rather than to bemoan. Next news. Liverpool transfer latest on Cody Gakpo, Curtis Jones and Federico Chiesa exits. Liverpool's summer transfer plans could see several familiar faces head for the exit door, with Cody Gakpo, Curtis Jones and Federico Chiesa all facing questions over their futures. Ronald Araujo's arrival on an initial season-long loan from Barcelona has given Liverpool valuable cover at centre-back and right-back. However, because he is over 21 and not classed as homegrown, the defender occupies an additional place on the Premier League squad list, leaving the Reds at their current limit. That could create a selection headache if Liverpool complete a move for Bradley Barcola, with another player potentially having to make way to accommodate the French winger. Jones's Liverpool future remains uncertain, with Inter Milan continuing to monitor the midfielder, who missed the return to Anfield against AS Monaco with a minor hip injury. The Liverpool Academy graduate is entering the final 12 months of his contract at Anfield, with little sign so far that a new deal is close to being agreed. Inter is yet to match Liverpool's $47 million valuation of Jones, leaving the Reds waiting to see whether the Italian club will return with an improved offer. Tottenham is also keeping tabs on Gakpo, but have yet to make a formal approach. Gakpo is reportedly open to joining Tottenham this summer, provided the London club can reach an agreement with Liverpool during the final weeks of the transfer window. Chiesa continues to consider his options as he weighs up whether to remain at Anfield. Chiesa is entering his third season at Anfield after joining Liverpool from Juventus, but the Italian has yet to establish himself as a key figure in the team. Speculation over a return to Serie A has continued, although Liverpool's current lack of attacking options could make an immediate exit difficult. Any decision over Chiesa's future is therefore likely to be pushed towards the latter stages of the transfer window. Liverpool is expected to loan out a number of their youngsters, although some could remain with the first team beyond the start of the season to provide additional cover. Callum Scanlon is among those likely to depart first, with Cardiff City, where he spent the second half of last season on loan, and Sheffield Wednesday both showing interest. QPR is also keen on Luke Chambers, while James McConnell has attracted significant interest from several Championship clubs, along with Leicester City in League One. Kieran Morrison's impressive performances on Liverpool's pre-season tour have also opened the door to fresh loan opportunities, including interest from clubs in the Netherlands. Calvin Ramsey and Lewis Koumas are expected to remain with the squad for a little longer before decisions are made on their futures. Ifeanyi Ndukwe, however, is expected to leave after Sunday's friendly against Como. The 18-year-old Austrian centre-back has impressed during pre-season and is considering strong offers from clubs in Portugal, Germany and Denmark, with teams in Belgium, France and Spain also monitoring his situation. Ndukwe has received offers from clubs in Austria, but is understood to be prioritising a move elsewhere in Europe as he looks to take the next step in his development. Next news. Inter maintain interest in Liverpool midfielder Curtis Jones as Christian Chivu pushes for a deal. Inter are heavily pursuing Liverpool midfielder Curtis Jones after manager Christian Chivu highlighted the Englishman as a priority target. With the player refusing a contract extension and eyeing a move to Italy, the Nerazzurri face a choice between paying a hefty fee now or securing him for free next year. Chivu targets Liverpool midfielder. Inter's pursuit of Liverpool midfielder Jones has lasted for about 8 months now. The chase continues at the explicit request of manager Chivu, who views the Englishman as an ideal fit for his tactical setup. According to YNWA, Chivu believes the versatile midfielder brings crucial pace, technique and tactical intelligence to the squad. While he shares similarities with other players in the team, his profile offers unique qualities that appeal greatly to the technical staff. Contract standoff fuels exit talk. The speculation surrounding the player intensified recently after he missed Liverpool's friendly against Monaco. Although an official hip issue was cited, the explanation failed to convince supporters and only added fuel to the transfer rumours. Sources indicate that a parting of ways appears increasingly inevitable, given the growing divide at the club. Jones has already informed his current employers that he has no intention of signing a contract extension, effectively offering a lifeline to Inter. Player eyes move to Italy. The midfielder has actively tried to force the issue by turning down interest from several other suitors. His primary focus remains on securing a high-profile move to Italian football as soon as possible. However, a significant valuation gap remains between the two clubs. Inter are currently reluctant to meet the substantial demands set by the English side, especially with the midfield department still currently overstocked. Next news. Liverpool transfer news as Bradley Barcola update given and Ibrahim Mbaye interest. Liverpool's preparation for the new season is nearing the end, with less than 2 weeks until the Premier League gets underway for Andoni Iraola and his side. It's been a challenging pre-season for the new manager, who hasn't had much time to work with his first-choice players due to a disrupted summer after the World Cup. While one friendly match is still on the way, attention is slowly shifting to the Premier League action that is coming, with Liverpool starting the campaign away at Newcastle. There will be at least 3 new faces in the team for the clash, following the arrivals of Jeremy Jacquet, Victor Munoz, and Ronald Araujo in the transfer window. There is some hope that Liverpool will be able to get a few more deals over the line before then, with work underway behind the scenes to seal a move or two in the coming weeks. So, with that said, here's a look at the latest transfer news ahead of another busy day of action. Bradley Barcola, PSG. Bradley Barcola continues to be linked with a move to Liverpool, with intense negotiations with Paris Saint-Germain underway for the winger in the final few weeks of the market. The move remains at a delicate stage, with a gap in valuation between the two teams, meaning that both sides will need to meet at a common ground to get a transfer secured. According to Fabrizio Romano, talks are still ongoing, but the valuation is causing some problems. He explained on his YouTube channel, "Then financially there is still no agreement, so we need to be patient, but personal terms, not an issue at all. And Liverpool remain in active talks with Paris Saint-Germain for Bradley Barcola. Liverpool know that they need to improve their opening conversations, indicated proposal, because from my information, Liverpool didn't send an official bid to Paris Saint-Germain." Ibrahim Mbaye, PSG. With a move for Barcola taking up a lot of the discussions for Liverpool, things have seemingly gone quiet on the Ibrahim Mbaye front for the Reds. However, the YNWA reports that the Reds still have interest in the Senegalese international as an option to bring balance to the right flank of the forward line. That move remains separate to the deal for Barcola, but a move for the former will likely be pushed ahead with first, before Mbaye could join. Next news. Liverpool news. Bradley Barcola gives transfer green light and Star joins up with squad. Liverpool have one more hurdle to overcome in their pursuit of Bradley Barcola, as Andoni Iraola looks to seal a much-needed attacking signing. A winger is high up on the Reds' priority list as the new manager confirms it is an obvious situation the club needs to address.
The new manager discussed the need to sign attacking stars in July, admitting that the Reds will need to be flexible in the transfer market. He said, "No, I think it's difficult to say a number when the market is open, and you have to be always open to new options to improve the squad. There are obvious situations that we know where we need to sign players. A winger, for example, we definitely need to sign a winger. But there are other situations that we will have to analyse what the market gives you, what's the cost, how we also see the players we have. We have some tricky positions where we have injured players that we trust, but is still not the ideal situation. So, it will depend on a lot of things." While transfers are very much on the agenda over the next few weeks, Iraola has also welcomed back an important member of the Liverpool squad from an extended summer break. Here, YNWA has the latest coming out of Anfield. Bradley Barcola greenlights transfer. Bradley Barcola has reportedly greenlit a move to Liverpool after agreeing personal terms. Fabrizio Romano reports the two clubs are in direct official conversation, and the League One side's £145 million valuation remains unchanged. Speaking on his YouTube channel, he reports that the two clubs are in daily talks, and while they are yet to strike an agreement on financial terms, PSG's potential move for Barcelona forward Ferran Torres could facilitate Barcola's switch to Liverpool. The Reds have been linked with a number of other wide targets, including fellow PSG star Ibrahim Mbaye, Brighton's Yankuba Minte, and Bournemouth's Rayan. Key star returns to Anfield. Alexis McAllister has returned to the AXA training centre following his post-World Cup break. The Argentina international suffered a 1-0 final defeat to Spain in extra time after taking part in key victories with Lionel Messi and co. McAllister can be seen in a video shared by the club on social media, embracing his teammates upon his return, including Dominic Szoboszlai and Ryan Gravenberch. He sat at the table alongside Federico Chiesa, Kostas Tsimikas and Alisson, with what is reported to be a new hair transplant. Now, focus will be on getting Liverpool back on track as Iraola's first season in charge at Anfield is set to get underway.